Being an amazing product marketing leader doesn't happen by chance. It happens by habit. Product marketing certified leadership has been built on the back of decades worth of experience from some of the world's best known brands with one goal in mind: helping you be the best leader you can be. Crammed with real life case studies, over 12 hours worth of content, templates, exams, and more, this course is everything you need to lead with authority, confidence, influence, and innovation. Every piece of material within the 7 modules and 29 chapters has been vetted, tested, and approved by senior level product marketers from companies like Amazon, Uber, and HubSpot, serving up game-changing insights throughout. By the time you've wrapped up the final module, you'll be able to define what it takes to be a great product marketing leader, build and scale your team, understand how to successfully manage your existing team, use methods for leveraging data, know how to become the voice of the customer, understand how teams work cross-functionally, and improve your strategic thinking. The beauty of the course is you'll have the freedom to work your way through the modules at a pace to suit you. It's 100% self-paced. You'll even get lifetime access to the curriculum, paving the way for refresher sessions forevermore. Visit productmarketingalliance.com to get leadership certified and spearhead your journey to the top.
Welcome back to PMA Take 10, PMA series in which we chat with a product marketing expert about a topic of their choice for 10 minutes or thereabouts. And today I'm thrilled to be joined by Shireen Shaheen, product marketing leader and consultant. In this episode, we'll be discussing how to grow in a product marketing role. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thanks for having me on this.
So just to start off really, obviously product marketing is like any other career and PMMs are bound to set their sights on professional development. But what's the best piece of advice that you've received during your own career that's helped you progress at various stages of your product marketing journey?
Yeah, it's a great question. And my answer really has nothing to do with product marketing. As you said, it's really just advice I've gotten throughout my career. And there are a couple managers that I would give credit that told me in order to build your own career and move to wherever that is, whether that's lateral or it's going up, getting promoted, is really owning that for yourself and being the first one to express that. It doesn't mean that others aren't going to notice your strengths and how great you're doing in your position, but you really have to own that for yourself and play an active role and express that desire, because it's not something everyone will immediately think about is promoting you and moving you around the company. So that's the best advice, and that's what I've done throughout my career, is found the right time, really thought about what I wanted next, and talked about it with my manager.
Okay, awesome. And an ability to adapt is also like a crucial skill for a product marketer. But how can PMMs pivot and almost introduce a strategic approach to their practice if they've previously adopted a more tactical method?
Yeah, so I think, as you mentioned, product marketers really do get caught in a lot of tactical work. We have to do that work. We need to get it done. But as you're starting to transition into something more strategic, the way I usually recommend is start with, maybe 20 or 30% of your role being more strategic. You can't really go fully from one to the other. But as you start to work with your manager and even your team on moving towards this direction, ask where you can get involved in that 20, 30% bucket. Whether it's meetings that you're not involved in currently, projects that you're not involved, and just start to get into it slowly as you transition. And as you do that, and you prove that you could be successful in those more strategic roles, a little bit more naturally, the tactical will start to fall off your plate, or you may have to hire an intern, somebody else on your team will start to take those, and you'll start to naturally transition that way. So I always say, start small, baby steps, and allocate some time to do more strategic projects.
Okay, that sounds great. And there are some traits that are almost deemed as being indispensable for product marketers. So one that comes up like time and time again being empathy. So what do you consider to be almost like core product marketing skills that PMMs need to grow and flourish in their role?
Yeah, I think it goes along with empathy. The first reaction I had was actually just being a great listener. We have to work very cross-functionally. Anyone that's in product marketing knows that. All different personality types, and everyone has their own motivations. Sales has their own motivations for what they need, content, demand gen, product. They all have their own motivations. So the more that we can listen and really hear, and genuinely, I mean, be really authentic in that, and then really hear kind of where they're coming from and what they need and how we can best collaborate. I think listening is a big skill. And the only other one I'll mention, you asked for one, but the bigger one, which goes along with listening, is it is people skills. When I've hired members of my teams in the past, I've always asked some questions around kind of how they build relationships inside of an organization. Where have they come across challenges in doing that? How do they face those challenges? To really get into some of those soft skills, because I think those are actually harder to teach. And I'd love to hire someone that's done some of that already. So I think that's the most important.
Okay. And finally, PMMs, like, they continue to launch their own ventures and pursue roles as product marketing consultants in a bid to almost like fulfill their own ambitions and kind of go down their own path. But as a consultant yourself, what's been your greatest challenge and greatest triumph that you personally have experienced so far?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So greatest challenge, I think because as product marketers, we can do so much. My greatest challenge has been, how do I narrow in what my focus is with clients? What is it that I really want to work on? And really being very specific about that when I talk to potential clients. My greatest triumph, there's a lot of work out there. There is no shortage of product marketing work. So I would say it's actually been a very pleasant surprise to realize that there is work for a consultant, and a lot of organizations don't necessarily need someone full-time. They really need someone that can step in, get that work done, and really focus on it. And they're not caught up in everything else that's going on around the organization and can just really stay focused. So that's been a great surprise, because I wasn't sure when I was leaving full-time if that would be the case.
And to kind of like tag this question onto your response just then, what's almost like been your, almost like the main difference you've experienced between, going in from full-time? Because as a former freelancer myself, what have you noticed from coming full-time into consultancy? What is it that almost like drives you as a consultant?
Probably the first thing that comes to my mind is the variety of work, right? When you're full-time, you're working in one company, you have pretty much the same product or products that you're working on. But for me as a freelancer, and I'm sure you've experienced this yourself, there isn't one day where I'm not working on 2 or 3. I have 3 clients right now, and I touch on all of them all day. So I have to really organize my day and my schedule, but I like that. I like the variety. I find that it keeps it interesting. I learn about different products. So that's been the biggest difference that comes to mind first. There's others, but I think that's the main one.
Oh, okay, that's great. And just to kind of wrap up, really, it's been a great, really great chat. I've really enjoyed meeting you. So where can our viewers get in touch with you? Are you available on LinkedIn, or have you got a website?
Yeah, LinkedIn is great. I do have a website. It's iamshireenshaheen.com. But LinkedIn is probably where I'm most available. So happy to talk with anyone who has any other questions or talk about starting your own business in product marketing. Happy to do that. So feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat, and you take it easy.
Yeah, thank you. You as well.
Thank you very much.